Great. Well, first of all, I just want to thank you all so much for coming out. It's a beautiful spring day, so I know you guys could be a lot of other places, so I appreciate you guys coming out here. It's go time. The house is on fire, and together we are going to put the fire out, because the path to taking back the house runs right through each and every one of us here tonight. For folks that haven't had the chance to meet yet, my name is Bennett. I'm a former Navy pilot and test pilot, healthcare leader, mom of two. And my life is the story of the American dream. I was able to go to college because I earned an ROTC scholarship, and I worked 2 jobs on top of that to pay the bills my scholarship didn't cover. And then I used the GI Bill to go get my MBA, and my husband and I bought our house with a VA loan. I am where I am today because of programs like that, because of the promise of America. And I still believe in the future of this country. I believe that we can create a country where every kid has a fair shot at the American dream, just like I did, where you can work hard and build the life you want to be able to build, and where everybody feels safe in their community. So for folks I haven't had the chance to meet yet, let me just take 1 minute to give people a little bit of my background. I grew up in a small town in Texas, so if everyone's ever seen the TV show Friday Night Lights, that's the town that I grew up in basically. And service has always been a really big part of my life. My guiding principle and North Star throughout my career is that I want to leave the world better off than I found it. And so I decided to join the military because I wanted to serve and give back in some way. I don't come from a military family, just decided on military service as the path to do that. And true story, I joined the Navy because I applied to the Army and the Navy at the same time, and the Navy got back to me faster, so that's why I joined the Navy. And then from there, I decided to become a helicopter pilot because I played a lot of sports growing up. And for me, everything I've always done in my entire life has been about the people that I get to do it with. And so as a helicopter pilot, you fly with the crew, and it's a really team-based approach to the missions, which I really liked. So I served in the military for over 15 years. I led missions, people, and teams all over the world. Spent most of my time on aircraft carriers, but I deployed on a couple different kinds of ships. I do get this question quite a bit, but I promise there is no requirement you have to run for office in New Jersey if you're a Navy pilot. From there, I went to Wharton and I got my MBA, and then I moved into healthcare. And the reason I moved into healthcare is because I'm very mission driven and I wanted to go still try to make the world a better place. And I've worked in a bunch of different areas of healthcare. I started out my career working for Johnson & Johnson, just right down the road in Raritan. And then I moved into digital health and startups where I've been working the past few years. Women's health is a passion area of mine. Not reproductive rights, of course, are incredibly important, but what we're doing is support women across our entire lifespans. Women weren't even required to be in clinical trials until about 30 years ago. So we don't even know how to treat women a lot of times. We just treat them like small men. So one of the, I know it's crazy. It's true though. What's that?
It's wrong.
Yes. One of the companies I worked at was a women's health company focused on women going through menopause, which is just a huge unmet need. And I also worked at a gastrointestinal or GI virtual care company, which is a multidisciplinary model that addressed a lot of the mind-gut connection issues. But my role at these companies was building and leading our partnership organization. And so by that, I mean, how do we solve access issues and increase quality and lower total cost of care? So that's what I was doing in the private sector. My husband is also a veteran. He's a submarine officer. And when we were looking at where we wanted to move when I was getting out of the military, we decided to come here to put down roots and raise our family. And we came here for the same reason a lot of other people come here. It's the best schools in the country. It's a great place to raise a family. And our daughters are really thriving. We have 2 girls, they're 3 and 6. We named them both after women aviators, so we're raising strong women in our household. The other day, my oldest didn't want to do something, and she goes, "It's my body, my choice." And I was like, "That's great, but you still have to brush your teeth." But she actually came today for back to school. It was like, take your kid to work day today. I don't know. So anyway, so she wanted to come tonight, but it's past her bedtime. I was like, no. So, but I know that you all did not come out here tonight to hear me talk about my background. And really what I want to talk about is this campaign and why we are going to win. Because I will tell you, as a veteran, as a mom, as an American, I am pissed off about what is happening right now in this country. It is not okay. And together, we are going to stop it. Ultimately, I believe this comes down to 3 key things. 1, I know how to lead when the stakes are high. 2, I understand the challenges we are facing in this district, in this country. And 3, I am a patriot. Okay, so point number 1, I know how to lead when the stakes are high. I deployed to the Middle East in support of Operation Enduring Freedom, and so a lot of people, which was the Afghanistan war, and a lot of people have asked me what I think about what's going on in the Middle East right now, and I'll just say that I personally flew and led missions through the Strait of Hormuz, where it was my helicopter in between the Iranian ships and the aircraft carrier to make sure we had safe passage through that airspace and water space. And any time we are going to go put American service members in harm's way, we need to have clear motivation, clear objective, clear exit strategy. And what this administration is doing has done none of those things. And the fact that they are being so cavalier about the loss of American life and civilian life is disgusting and disgraceful. And that is why, just another reason why we've got to flip the House. But when you are leading a mission and you are flying the helicopter between the carrier and the Iranian ships, you do not have the luxury in that moment of saying, oh, this is too hard, or we'll try again later. You get the job done every single time because that is what you have to do. And that is the mindset I am bringing to this campaign and then to office, is focus, accountability, mission first. Because the stakes were life or death then, and they are life or death now. Okay, the second point I want to make is that I understand the challenges we are facing in this district, in this country, because my family is dealing with them too. I mentioned I have 2 girls. My oldest is in public school in Bridgewater, where we live, just right down the road. My youngest is in daycare. And we are living through a cost of living crisis in this country right now. Everything is more expensive. Childcare, elder care, housing, energy, groceries, healthcare. I could go on and on and on. But no one is doing anything to actually solve the issues that we are facing in this country. So I just want to talk about childcare here as an example, because when my 2 girls were in full-time daycare, we were paying over $3,500 a month for them to be in childcare. That is more than a mortgage. It is an astronomical amount of money we are asking families to pay. And I know so many families that are having fewer kids, or they're dropping out of the workforce because they just can't afford to pay for it. So my proposal is modeled after what the Department of Defense does already, which I still call it that, by the way. We're not changing it. Yes, yeah. It costs like an insane amount of money just to change all the words over. It's just so stupid, so stupid. But anyway, my proposal is that we cap the cost of childcare. We basically do a sliding scale based on how much people make. And so we cap it at 7% of people's incomes, and we pay for that by undoing the Trump tax cuts. And I just use that as an example to say that I am a pragmatic, common sense person who throughout my entire career has found ways to solve problems and move the ball forward. And that is the approach I'm going to bring to solving the issues that are facing us. We've got some policy proposals. They're also on my website. We put out a bunch of stuff because I think it's really important that we actually stand for something. We can't just be anti-Trump and anti-Kane. We have to hold them accountable, but we also have to be for something too. And so I want to have actual solutions to these problems. So put a lot of thought into the policy proposals that we put out, but would welcome everyone's feedback on what you guys are hearing most from that. So would really welcome everyone's feedback on that. And the last point I want to make is I am a patriot. I use that word on purpose, by the way, because we love this country too. And the Republican Party is not going to wrap themselves in the flag with what they are doing right now. And when you love something, you fight for it. And so that is why I use that word. I do it on purpose. But, I'll just say I got involved in politics originally because I was serving in the military on active duty the first time that Trump got elected. And probably, like everyone in this room, I will never forget that night. I remember it so clearly. I still remember what I was making for dinner. It was, yeah. But it was one of my favorite recipes because I thought we were going to be celebrating. I obviously cannot make it anymore. It's been ruined. But, that's what led me to want to get involved in politics. And so when I got out of the military, I started volunteering as a grassroots volunteer. Doing stuff I know all of you have been doing for a long time. Door knocking, phone banking, text banking, postcards. And when Harris lost in 2024, I felt this calling to lean in. I am the kind of person that runs at problems. For me, this time was different. I knew I had to do everything I could to stand up and fight for this country that I love. This country I took an oath to support and defend against all enemies, foreign or domestic. I put my life on the line for this country. And there is no way I was going to sit on the sidelines while the people in power in Washington are destroying our democracy, enriching themselves, and making our problems worse. And that is why I am running for Congress. I care deeply about the future of this country and the version that we are going to leave for my daughters and your kids and grandkids and the next generation. And also, just for the record, Tom Kean Jr. sucks. He is a career politician and a trust fund kid who has never worked a day in his life. And so of course he is not going to fight for us because he has never had to fight for anything. And we are going to replace him with somebody who does. Because we deserve someone who's going to fight for us, not someone who's just going to coast on his dad's last name. One of my favorite sayings is, the harder I work, the luckier I get. And I've done a lot of hard, important things in my life, from earning a degree in chemical engineering, not a PhD, but yeah, to becoming the 18th female Navy test pilot in the history of the Navy, to building an award-winning career in healthcare. Done a lot of hard, important things. But I've never done anything as important as this. I give you all my word that I will wake up every day and work harder than I've ever worked in my life to fight for you and your family as hard as I fight for my own kids. This campaign is about service, it's about values, it is about the future of this nation. The way that we flip this seat is by building a broad coalition of Democrats, independents, and Republicans. My background as a military veteran, private sector leader, and mom uniquely position me on being able to do that. It is a scary time in this country right now. But we have something here in this district. I know not everyone's in this district, but we'll just say, somewhere in this county that we can do about it. Because the 7th district is going to be one of the top 5 races in the country to take back the House this year. So no pressure, but the entire country is counting on us to flip this seat. But I know that we are up for it because together we are going to flip this seat. And we are going to take back the House. And we are going to put a stop to the insanity that is happening and make sure we leave this country better off than we found it. So I think I kept it under 15 minutes. But I will just say thank you guys so much for having me here. I'm happy to take questions. Let's go win this. Thank you all.